but I prefer that you refer to me as Saflex. You know, I I look forward to an amazing, brain sharing section with you guys. That's to say, I'm sharing, and at some point, I hope to absorb some from you too. Uh, our space, cryptocurrency space, blockchain technology space, have been one of the most interesting section space that I find myself. And over the past years, we've had very amazing, innovations and narratives and developments that have happened in that space. We also had many, many challenges. But over time, one of the most significant problem I noticed as a person, is we are not well represented, legally speaking. People know this globally. People understand the legal framework of Nigeria as a whole, and they exploit it. For example, scammers create projects and look for gullible Africans to invest in it, you know, because they know that if they go with the money, there's nobody to represent. We also have platforms that, that issue out over leveraged, over leveraged stakes or returns for customers with the hope that, when they leverage their money, the platform, and when they go off, there's nobody that is going to come up with a way to sort the scenarios for them, right? Another most painful thing is even legal platforms, legit platforms, they find a different way or an unfavorable way to address Nigerians generally. And that's still because of the legal framework that everybody understands, you know. So it's an honor for me, to be here to discuss or converse about tokenomics, with you guys. I have many, many experiences I would love to share as we progress. I also look forward to having this section as a more interactive section than just one hand education platform, right? So I'll be having a very interesting topic. A topic I like to talk about a lot, is innovative tokenomic strategies. I come with a presentation, so you're going to allow me to share my screen. But before I do my screen sharing, please, if you had ever involved yourself one way or the other, either have a wallet or buy a coin at all, or just participate in crypto one way or the other, can I have like your thumbs up finger? Okay, I have one person, I have two people. Oh, interesting. That's nice. At least we have people who have participated one way or the other. So I assume that we are going to have an interesting session. So allow me to bring up my slide, please. Okay. Please, I'm with
Shabi,
you.
can I hear you? Okay, okay. I thought you were trying to speak and
No, I'm with you.
okay, sir.
Okay. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know. Give me some thumbs up so I know that everybody is well connected. Okay, good. So as we progress, if you have questions, you can just unmute because I'm going to be on the slide. I'm going to be on the slide screen, right? So if you have any questions as we progress, maybe you break me between sections, right? Thank you. So I assume that you can see my slide, innovative tokenomics strategies. Sharon, can you see my slide?
Yes, I can. I can see
All
the
right,
slide.
perfect. I just want to be sure that we are together. Okay, good.
Okay.
So we are having a very important part of uh, the cryptocurrency space landscape generally, and it's honor to handle that space again today. So when we talk about tokenomics, we're having a whole lot of things that is involved in it. There's a part of token, then there's a part of economics, and when we marry these two words together, we're going to have tokenomics. And having to discuss this kind of topic in a resilient ecosystem like cryptocurrency is a very top-notch phenomenon. Today we have, an amazing person, a forward-thinking person like Mrs. Debbie, putting all of this together so that we can have a landscape space where everybody can have a right to fight at some point, which completes the concept of cryptocurrency generally as a whole. So you're going to be working with me today. We have a few, content to discuss. I'm going to paint to you a few scenarios that is going to give you an insight into the ideology of what tokenomics looks like. Then we are now going to, progress a bit into token and tokenomics. We are going to look at what defines a good and what defines a bad tokenomics. Then finally, we are going to have innovative tokenomics strategies, the ones that we are able to see around us today. And finally, you as a lawyer, right? What is your role in the space? Okay, so I suppose that we are going to be able to walk through it together, right? Now, why should you know about tokenomics? That's the first and most significant question, because you might be asking, as a lawyer, I'm not a trader, I do not have the expertise to be able to want to try and create some tokens, right? And you are concerned. Why should I understand the ideology behind tokenomics? I can tell you that behind every, the ideology of every cryptocurrency is that, they set up a project and they keep going like that. They keep making money, and people who are playing in the space are also making good money with it. So, but when issues start arising, issues like dispute, for example, issues like dispute, for example, issues like fraud, for example, issues like rock pool, for example, many other issues, it starts from the tokenomics. So there are many reasons for you to know tokenomics. One is for you to identify good projects, around, for you to identify a good coin, for example. The other reasons could be for you to be able to know what coins or what crypto is going to perform very well. But these are just your financial advantages to these things. But legally speaking, okay, it's going to give you understanding of the economic structure and how the legal playground should look like. Okay, so because today we both agree that the technology space, sorry, the cryptocurrency space was frontlined by technologists. I mean, developers, people that write code. I mean, programmers, people who are able to understand, some kind of programming languages. They put all of this together and they try as much as possible, maybe to a level of what, bring in legalities, but it is very, very weak. Okay, but as this cryptocurrency gain attraction, you start to have a need to understand, the ideology of each of those tokenomics and where is legal missing and where is legal supposed to be put in place. Then secondly, it gives you an exposure to different disciplinary ground, like from financial structures to technological structures, and you are not going to use your legal perspective to define how we are going to use these things in the future. Then you're also going to understand tokenomics. Understanding tokenomics also helps you to provide counsels in times of disputes, in terms of regulatory compliance, and drafting, tokenomics contract designs or smart contract structure, something like that. And finally, one of the most important things that you need to understand tokenomics on is because it will enable you to write about anything, especially from your perspective as a lawyer. It's going to be able to help you speak about it. You'll be able to even consult on regulatory, policies. These are some of the few reasons why you need to understand tokenomics today. Okay, so let me paint scenarios for you. These are real life scenarios that happened in the cryptocurrency space. And one of my first scenarios is Luna Terra USD crash. So Terraform Labs is one of the ecosystem in the bull run of 2020 that made very significant, impact. At some point, many people are calling it, Ethereum killer. Many people are seeing it as, the future money. So much that even legislators, people in very high places in US start to tattoo the logo of Terra, of Terra Luna on their body, some on their palm, some on their back, just to show support that we believe so much in this crypto project now it's going to go well. But they came with two different tokens. One, Terra USD. Okay, so it's a form of US dollars, but it is not pegged to US dollars. It is pegged to algorithm. So algorithm is like a step-by-step process of doing things in a computer space. So it is pegged to an algorithm, right? Then they now have Luna, a very volatile asset. And the ideology of this coin is that when Terra USD is trying to depeg, is trying to dive in. So the ideology of pegging it is when you peg a coin to a USD, it means that the value of our coin is going to be equal to the value of $1. So anytime that coin is going to be moving away from $1, they will be using Luna to supplement it. Now, this system collapsed when USD lost its peg. So it was moving, the price of one USD is moving away from $1 to something like 0.9, 0.8, 0.7. So when it's moving away like that, the system is supposed to be creating Luna coin to be complementing it from moving away from $1. But at the end of the day, what happened? The economics, the tokenomics was not well planned out, and it led to almost, I think the ecosystem of Terra Luna at that time was $60 billion. So it led to a crash of that ecosystem completely in the space of 3 days. In 3 days, the ecosystem lose $60 billion. But that is not the most painful thing. One of the most painful thing about it is it also dragged the asset, it also dragged the cryptocurrency ecosystem completely, and the market lose about $400 billion in that same space. It's one of the factors that led to the crash or that led to the start of bear markets in 2021, 2022 thereabouts. So Luna is one of the scenarios I would like to paint to you. So you understand that there's an ecosystem that has fallen to view of bad tokenomics. That is one. Two, there is BitConnect. I personally, I had money in BitConnect those days. So BitConnect was one of those tokens we used to buy into in 2017, 2018, thereabouts. And in 2018, regulators all over the world agreed that BitConnect is a Ponzi scheme, and they start to issue cease and desist order on BitConnect. That saw that token drop from a value of $400 per coin to almost $5 overnight. It lose about 92% of the assets. Now you understand the importance of tokenomics in the ecosystem of any coin at all in the first place. So these are two of the most significant scenarios that happen. But for a tokenomics to exist, there must be a token. Abi, there must be the existence of a token. And that token must have gone through some creation, okay? And that's what is going to lead us to the concept of token and tokenomics, creating the economics of a sustainable ecosystem. Now, For a tokenomics to exist, I said it earlier, there must be a token, right? A token is a digital asset that is created and managed on the blockchain. So there are these questions I used to have many times that people will ask. There are coins, there are tokens. So I tell them that a coin is a token, but a token in the cryptocurrency space does not always equate to a coin. This is my reason. One, a coin in the early days of when we started cryptocurrency, a coin is supposed to come with its own blockchain. So it comes with its own technology that records transactions that happen. While a token leverages the existing blockchain of a particular coin. So in a very simple example, Ethereum is a coin. Okay, it's a layer one blockchain, it's a coin. Now we now have token that is built on it. Tokens like tokens like Alice, for example, was built on Ethereum, and the essence of it is for play to earn. But there are some characteristics that a token must have, right? A token must be a representation of value on the blockchain. So representing various forms of values, that is currencies, it could be a form of currency, it could be a form of asset, it could be a form of utility or governance rights. Then a token must also be programmable. Okay, they must go through a smart contract process. So a smart contract in the space is one of the way we automate agreements between two parties that agrees to do business together. So they must be programmable. So it means that they have been programmed into a blockchain already, and then it can run on its own. That's another characteristic that is very important for a token to have. Then finally, it must be interchangeable. So we have two types of interchangeable concepts in the cryptocurrency space. We have the fungible tokens, things like USDT, things like Bitcoin, things like Ethereum. They are all fungible tokens, because if you bring one Ethereum, you put it to the pool of all Ethereums, you want your one Ethereum back, they will just dip hand in the pool and take out your one Ethereum and give it back to you. And that on its own defines fungibility. So it doesn't have to be the exact one that you drop in the pool that are giving back to you. But non-fungible in this instance is completely different. Non-fungible means that every single coin you come across is a unique coin on its own. So if you drop one Ethereum in the instance of non-fungible, okay, and you want another one Ethereum back, they are going to give you the exactly one Ethereum that you drop in the pool. That's the difference between fungibility and non-fungibility. So a token must possess this interchangeable ability. Either it is fungible or it is not fungible. Now, every token must come with the properties, all right? We have many different things that identify a token, and one of the properties is a name. A token must come with a name, and I'm sure you know Bitcoin, I'm sure you know Ethereum. Then a token must come with a type. So, for example, Bitcoin serves as a security. So there are also some other assets that serve as utility, like Tron, for example. Tron is an example of an utility token. So the type of token that Tron is an utility token. So every token must come with a type. So we have different types of tokens. We have utility token, we have security token, we have governance token, we have NFTs, we have stable coins, and many other types of crypto coins like that. Then it must exist in a network. So a token must have either is using a borrowed network, like the instance of the one I gave earlier, or it has its own network. So today we have many different networks in the cryptocurrency space. In the early 2017 days, the total cryptocurrency we have that is tracked on different platforms used to be maybe something around 2,000 cryptocurrencies. Today, we have over 2 million crypto assets that is tracked by CoinMarketCap alone. So, and many of these coins, they exist either on different networks. Today we have Ethereum network, we have Tron network, we have Bitcoin network, we have Binance Smart Chain. Even Binance Smart Chain, we still have Binance Beacon Chain, right? And we have Avalanche network, we have many other networks like that. So a token must exist under a network. Then another significant property is a token must have supply. token must come with a supply. Bitcoin on its own instance come with 21 million supply. Ethereum in its own instance, I think, came with something around, I think, 18 million, 17 million. Over time, they start to implement different protocols to change supply, right? Then there must be a white paper. A white paper is a document that describes all the information that that a token needs, or a token possesses, or describes everything about a token. Inside it, you will see the use case. Inside it, you will see the methodology, how to buy, what it is used for, right? So every token that comes into existence must have a white paper that documents every information about it. Now, when a token is created, who is involved? Okay, we have the token creator. This is the person that had the inception or the idea of starting out something. For example, Ethereum is owned by Vitalik Buterin. Bitcoin is owned by Satoshi Nakamoto. Today, we don't know if it's an organization or it's a single person, but that's the token creator. That's the person that's behind, let me create a token. Then we now have the team. The team involves the marketers, involves the social media managers, involves the community managers, involve the lawyers, involve every single thing that is around being a team member of a project, falls under the team. Then investors are also part of the people that owns or that is involved in a project. Then we have advisors. Earlier days in cryptocurrency, we don't used to have advisors and projects, but something around 2017, 2018, they start to begin to have a need for advisors in a project. People who have experienced some other crypto asset before, or who are in a position of in a position of mentorship, either by regulation or by experience in the traditional markets. So then we have the community. These are also the people that are involved. Then we now have finally the traders. So traders are not loyalists. Community members are loyalists. They are loyal to your community. They interact with the content that social media managers drop, that the community managers invoke in the platform. But traders are not loyal to your project. Traders are just there for the purpose of making money. These are the people that are surrounding a token. So what have we been able to identify to this point? One, we've been able to identify what a token really should be. Okay, we've been able to look at the characteristics that defines a token. We've been able to look at the properties that a token must possess. And finally, we are looking at who is involved in a token. Remember that this is just me talking about token yet. We are not yet in tokenomics, right? Now, let's with what we have said, let's create a token for the purpose of this internship program, right? And we are going to name the token HILTON Top Solicitors Token. That's the name of the token. And the ticker for this token is HTS. That's H from HILTON, T from top, and S from solicitor. So we are trying to create a virtual, just having an imagination that we are creating a token, right? What is this token supposed to do? It's supposed to, what type of token are we creating? Utility. We are creating this token for utility purpose. One, utility means that we can, use it to patronize in the space, maybe buy some goods, pay for some services, things like that. Security. It's also the type of the token we are intending to create for this purpose is security. It gives it a sense of ownership. So when you own some of this token, it gives you the sense of ownership as if I am part of the, I'm part of the ecosystem of HILTON Top Solicitors. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to use your token to patronize, maybe buy a legal book, for example, or pay for services to enter into exclusive events, things like that. Then governance. Decisions that are made in HILTON Top Solicitor, if we have this kind of token, for example, and you have some of those tokens, you'll be able to make suggestions to the ecosystem. Oh, it will be good that we have, we have a get together, and you use your rights, the tokens you have. It becomes a right for you to make suggestions and then for other people to vote on your suggestions. So that's the instance of governance. Where do we want this token to exist? Ethereum is one of the biggest ecosystem or biggest network in the cryptocurrency space today. So we want it to be on Ethereum, for example. We also want it to be on Binance, right? Binance is one of the cheapest ecosystem you ever see. It is also very, very popular. Then who is this token going to be for? It's going to be for the community, people like you and I who are, a player in the 18 top solicitor. Then, the token creator, Madam Debbie and the team. These are the teams that are going to be joining in. These are the developers that are building the product, that are building the token. Then, what is the purpose of the token? The purpose of the token is to facilitate legal practices in crypto space, right? Now, what I want you to imagine is, imagine that you open your Binance today. This is to assume that you understand buying and selling in Binance space. Imagine that you open your Binance today, and then you look into the market, and then you are seeing HTS, and HTS is a coin that have gained, or it's a token that have gained 20% in the past 24 hours. Just imagine it. But before you get to that imagination, a creation must happen. And this is also creating a token, just to let you understand that, how a token come to reality. So now that we've had the properties of tokens, now we know that a token must have a name, it must have a ticker, it must have a type, it must have a network that the token must exist in. Then we also know that a token must, exist for a community, must exist for the team players, right? Now we also have a purpose for the token. Then what's next? Now that we have created a token and we launch it, what's next? One, we have questions to answer. How do we make sure money circulates in the token that we have created? This is what is pushing us into tokenomics. Now, also we have a question, how do we distribute our token, right? Then finally, how do we sustain our project? How do we sustain that HTS does not crash? How do we sustain that people keep buying and selling HTS? How do we sustain that? This is what leads to the idea of tokenomics. We've created a token HTS. We now need to define an ecosystem, an economics for the token. So there's a token HTX, then we need to define an economics for that token. And that's the reason that's the ideology of tokenomics. I'm going to digress a bit and take you to a project called Verifica. But before I go to the Verifica project, is anybody having questions, or have been able to, or would want to chip in something before I progress? Okay, I assume that we are good. But if you have anything, you can drop it in the in-chat message, and I'm going to pick it up from there. Thank you, guys. So I want to bring in Verifica. This is a project I worked on in the past, and it's supposed to be a tokenomics and a roadmap. Now let's look at the tokenomics. I'm sure you can see my screen. One, we define the name of the token, Verifica. We design a symbol, which is the ticker, VRF, just the way we've done for HTX. We define the network, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon. Now, we also define the supply, 500 million Verifica. Then, what is this supposed to use? What is the use case of the token of Verifica? One, we want people to be staking it. Secondly, we want people to use it for payments. We also want to use it as a reward for people. Then we want to use it to provide liquidity, that's money, for other projects that want to build on identity space. Then we also intend to build an enterprise solution with it. So we allocated some portion of token for that. Also, we are looking at giving rewards to the community. So these are the use cases of the tokens that we've created. Then we are also having consideration that every one Verifica token will be equals to 1 million identity points. So let's look at Bitcoin as an example. Bitcoin has 21 million supply, but each Bitcoin is equal to 100 million Satoshi. So that's the token structure. But this is where it gets more interesting. Distribution. So we have created a token. We want the token to be 500 million. Then we intend to distribute this token in this format. One, we want to give markets 25%, because the total supply we have is 500 million tokens. Then we also want to issue public sale 9%. We want to issue seed sales 12%. We want to issue community sales 14%. We want to issue 18% to the company. We want to issue 22% to project creation. And finally, we want to issue 25% to the market. So, but to put it in more perspective, one, public sales is 6%, liquidity is 3%, all together make 45 million tokens. Then we have private sale 1 and 2, all together make 60 million tokens. We have governance and charity, all together make 70 million tokens. We have team and advisory, all together make 90 million tokens. Then we have enterprise and launchpad, altogether making 110 million tokens. Then finally, we have marketing and community reward, altogether make 125 million tokens. So this is the way we intend to distribute the token. So you know what happens when you send some coins to the community, to the population, what you have is inflation. So if we dump 9%, if we release 45 million token first, we are going to be having about 450 million token left. Now, if this 45 million token that we launch to the market is assumed to be maybe $1 per coin, right? If we now keep launching 12%, 14%, 16%, 18%, 22%, what we are doing is we are diluting the price of $1 per token. And what will be happening is the price of assets will be dropping down. And in the economics, we don't want something like that to exist. So because we don't want something like that to exist, we now have a vetting process, okay? And we have a releasing mechanism. This is what I'm trying to say. Now look at the token distribution pie chart and round definition. So in the private sale one, we want to release 20% in the first 3 months, and then we start to release it continuously every 1 month for the next 5 months, like that. Then we also have private sale 2. We want to release 10% in the first 2 months, and then we will now have 7-month vesting period. 7-month vesting period means that every month we'll be releasing some allocations until we release the 100% complete. The public sale, we want to release all the 100%. Liquidity, we want to release all the 100%. The team, we are not releasing anything for the team. We want the team to wait for 24 months first. Then we will now start releasing 5% of what we allocate to the team every month until we finish releasing it. Then governance, we are going to decide that later. Enterprise, we are going to decide that later. Marketing, we want to release 20% now. Then after 5 months, we will now start releasing 5% until we release on the 100%. The same thing goes to advisory. The same thing goes to community reward. But for charity, we say for 12 straight months, we are not going to release anything to charity. Then after the 12 months, we will now be releasing 5% every month until we finish the 100%. Now, this is the way we intend to release the coins to the public, so that we will not have a coin that does not have value. That is the essence of what we are trying to create at the end of the day. So now let's come back to I think there should be one more thing. Okay, good. This is the final one. Price assumption. We now say that for us to release these coins to the public, number one, when we want to release the private sales, we want to release it at 0.01. So let's, for the purpose of understanding, let's assume that I'm saying that we want to release this for $1. Okay? Then we want to release private sale 2 for $5, right? Then in the public sales, we want to release it $8 and $15. Now look at what is going to happen. Imagine that on private sale 1, so this private sale 1 and private sale 2 are the investors. Let me go back to our presentation. Remember who are supposed to own, who are supposed to be involved in the project. We have the token creator, we have the team, we have the investors. Investors are the people that believe in the token that we are creating. So for example, we are creating HTS token. This is HILTON Top Solicitors token, right? I, for one, believe in the importance of legal in the cryptocurrency space. So I am one of the investors that will probably buy in the beginning, maybe in public sales, or if you pitch the idea to me that I should come and buy this project from you, then I'm going to put my money into it. So maybe I buy at the first private sale 1, which is because private sale 1 and private sale 2 are for the investors. Then public sales, we are talking about the community, and the traders completely. So if I buy at $1 and we release everything to people, and we also buy, and I also buy at $5, and we also release everything to the people, to the investors. Imagine that when we release the public sales, everybody that buys $5, if they sell the day we release the public sales, this price is going to drop significantly to zero. Why? Because the people that have bought the coin at $1, they want profit. The people that have bought the coin at $5, they want profit. So if we release the coin, they might sell to the market. And when they sell their coin to the market, the value of the coin will be zero. We don't want things like that to happen, right? That is why we now say that private sale one, we are going to, even though we release the coin to the public, we are going to hold it back for a while. We are going to make sure that they are not able to sell their token to the market so that they don't dump their coin on us, right? Then we also say that on private sale too, we are going to hold it for 9 months. And then after 9 months, we'll be releasing it to them continuously like that for 20 months. Then probably say we are going to have zero time to wait. We just send it to the public, let them to buy and sell it. That's the ideology of, having token distribution. So we say, how do we distribute it? This is the answer. This is the way we intend to distribute the coin. We want to give 8% to public sales, 4% to private sales, right? Then we say, how do we sustain it? This is a very important question. How do we sustain the project? If we release private sale,
So we can't hear you.
Are you serious? Can you hear me now?
So the line is breaking.
Actually, hello. Actually, I can hear you from my end perfectly. So
Perfectly. Please, if you can hear me, let me see some
So
emojis.
the line is breaking.
Okay. Okay, good. I can see a lot of people are hearing you. Okay.
Okay, maybe
So,
it's my.
all right. Let's just continue as it is at the moment because I think my network is very good. Okay, good. Now, how do we sustain it? That's the answer to sustainability, right? We need to be able to. So when we're talking about sustainability, we are looking at demand and supply. When people demand our coin, we should be able to give it to them. When the supply is too much, there should be a mechanism to put the supply together. Now, that's what leads us to what a good tokenomics should look like, right? Now, what makes a good tokenomics? A good tokenomics design ensures that all participants are incentivized to contribute to the ecosystem's success, while minimizing the risks like inflation, price manipulation, or centralization. We are going to understand this in a bit. So before we get to the important question, I would like to explain this a bit more. So remember that a tokenomics is the economics of a token. What is the economics? It defines how we are going to supply the market, and also why we are supplying the market. What we are doing is we are inflating the market. Then we also put mechanism in place to deflate the market such that we make sure that everything is balanced. Look at Bitcoin today, okay? Bitcoin is incentivizing every participant, right? Bitcoin incentivizes the miners first. These miners are the people that confirms transactions that happen on the Bitcoin network, okay? When they incentivize them, and that's what leads to halving structure, and that's what leads to bull run, bear market, things like that. But let me just stick with tokenomics, right? So when it incentivizes miners, what it does is it's inflating the existing circulation of the coin that is in existence. So if we have 20 million in existence, if we have 1 million coin in existence before, and it incentivizes about 500,000 tokens, what we will now have in the market will be 1.5 million Bitcoin. Okay, now that we have populated the market, now that Bitcoin market have populated the market with extra 500,000 Bitcoin, we should look for a system to make sure that the price does not over dilute, such that people does not start losing value or losing trust in the system. Then we now start to look at different mechanisms to put this in place. And that is why we're having to look at what defines a good tokenomics. One, for you all to talk about what defines a good tokenomics, there should be questions in your mind that assesses this tokenomics. One of those questions is, does the token have clear utility and demand? Okay, so in the instance of the HTS that we're talking about, HTS is going to, help people provide a legal participation into crypto space. That's the instance of why we are creating HTS. The utility, will people ever get scammed in the crypto space? The answer is yes. Will people ever get rug pulled in the crypto space? The answer is yes. Those are utility that, so we now say that anybody that wants to report their scam, or anybody that needs a lawyer in the cryptocurrency space, you need to go and first get HTS token. So we are creating a demand for that token. Anybody that has been scammed before, we are telling them, go and get HTS token. Now use this HTS token to access our platform for any available lawyers that is going to jump on your situation or jump on your case, right? Then, is the supply designed to support scarcity and value growth? Okay, then that's another very, very important question. If we look at the verifier I showed earlier on, we intentionally define scarcity. So somebody who buy 100 verifier coin, what we did is we are giving you 20 out of your 500, out of your 100 coin first, you know. So we are holding the remaining 80, right? So that you do not have all of it and then dump it on the market, right? So that is one of scarcity mechanism. Another scarcity mechanism that you are going to ever come across is staking. Over time, we can now say that for everybody that have been in the that have purchased HTS token, for example, we want to have an event that is coming up on so day, okay? Because this event is going to come up on so day, we are creating a mechanism for people who have HTS token to lock up their HTX for the numbers of days so that they can gain reward on it. Now, imagine that you lock up, imagine that you have 100 million, or don't let us talk in million terms so that you don't lose the touch of the importance of the description I'm trying to make. Let's assume that you have 100 coins of HTX. Just assume that it is 100 coin of HTX, right? And we have released 80% of it. We have released 80 coins to the market completely, right? Now, every single time people are reporting scam, or people are reporting a dispute, or reporting a compliance issue, or any report that will need a lawyer, they need to use at least 10 HTS token. Remember that we have 80 HTS token in the public. We now create a staking mechanism and say that all of you that have HTS token, we want you to stake your HTS token so that on the day we are having this event, we can give you people maybe 20% increase on your HTS token. So all the people that have HTS token started, you know, staking their HTS token. The ideology of staking is putting your coin away into the platform for a specific period. So out of the 80 that is in circulation, we are able to collect 70, remaining just 10 in the public. I'm explaining to you a staking event. So remaining just 10 in the public. Now, we now have 5 people that want to report a scam, that somebody just duped them and they want a lawyer to be able to help, you know, to explain the situation and probably look for a way to investigate it, or look for a way to, you know, just jump on the situation, maybe report a dispute. Each of those people, they need 10 token, and the only token we have left in the market is just 10. And we have 5 people that want to report that situation. What we need is an extra 40 tokens, but they can't have access to that token again because they have locked it away in staking. So what will happen is, for the people that have just that 10 token, the demand, people are demanding for 50, there is only 10 in the market. So what happens is scarcity. Because it is scarce, people will start negotiating for more value. So if we are selling one HTC for $1, anybody whose case is more painful, who really want to address his case, can buy each token at maybe $5. So because we have created a scarcity event through staking, what now happen is the price of asset that is now available will now skyrocket. You know, this is the instance of what happened when Bitcoin have the reward that it gives to miners. This year, we are, you know, is 2024 is another year of halving. And every single time they are dividing it by half. right? And when it is divided by half, it means that it has become more scarce. And when it becomes more scarce, you will see the price of assets skyrocket. Today, we are looking at the price of Bitcoin at around $90,000 thereabouts. The question is, are we going to see it at a more price discoverable price? What I mean is, are we going to see it as $150,000? Are we going to see it as $160,000? Are we going to see it as $200,000? The answer is yes. You know why? Because there is scarcity, embedded inside the tokenomics of Bitcoin. Good. Now, another point that you will use to define or know a very good tokenomics is, are incentives aligned for all stakeholders? Is everybody getting reward, or or it is just biased to maybe the owner of the project alone, or maybe to the team alone, or maybe to the marketers alone, right? It is a very important question. When incentive goes round, everybody is happy. Projects will be able to sustain itself, and the coin can grow and do well. Another one is the distribution fair and transparent? This is a very, very significant question. Now, let's take another example. Just give me a minute. I'm going back to the tokenomics I explained earlier on. Now, look at the people that we gave. So we gave company 18%. We give the community 14%. We gave the people that created, okay, so this is also the community project creation, 22%. But imagine that when we were creating coin, we now say that the investors who are going to buy coin at private sale 1, and they're also going to buy at private sale 2, instead of giving them together 12%, imagine we give them 50%, or imagine we give them 60%. So 60% of the whole 500 million token will go to just investors alone. What happens is they can dump their coins on the market. And when they dump their coins on the market, the price of that token will drop drastically. And when the price of that asset drops drastically, people start losing faith in it, right? This is why the importance of distributing the token among all the players that are going to be participating in the token is very, very crucial, right? So is distribution fair and transparent? This is not a technical thing. This is not a knowledge that you need an expert to look into for you. Just look at the tokenomics yourself, right? And you're going to be able to look, what did they assign to the team? The developers, what did they assign to it? We, the community, what did they assign to us? When you look at it, if the community is having lesser, percentage as compared to, the owner of the project, it means that they are having dubiousness in mind. They've already built the solution with scam in mind already. You should not participate in things like that, right? Does it encourage participation and long-term engagement? This is a very, very important question. For example, Ethereum, encourages you to participate in it because they have built many, many solutions around it. Today you can borrow money and you can borrow money and you can lend money on Ethereum platform without the need of an intermediary, right? And this has been in existence and it's going to continue to be in existence for a long time because there's a lot of players involved in it. Now, let's use Bitcoin as a case study to define if Bitcoin is good, right? As a case study to define if Bitcoin has a very good tokenomics. That's the word for it. Now, the purpose of Bitcoin, many people don't know this, but the purpose of Bitcoin is, in the white paper, right? The purpose of Bitcoin is it's supposed to be an electronic cash to send money between one person and another without any middlemen like banks, like CBN. Just between me and Sharon, we concluded that we want to do business. I can send money to one, she can send money back to me without any middleman. That is the purpose of Bitcoin, right? Supply, does it have a limited supply, 21 million supply? Yes, it has a maximum supply, sorry. The supply of Bitcoin that can never be in existence is just 21 million. And if you look at it with the way the world is adopting Bitcoin today, you are going to know that Bitcoin is still going to go very high in value. You know why? Because it is just going to be 21 million that will ever exist. So anybody that is holding Bitcoin now is just going to be happy. Today or tomorrow, they are going to be in profit, right? Then incentives. Bitcoin rewards users that hold for long term, and it also reward miners for confirming transactions. So if you are a user, imagine that you buy Bitcoin in 2020 or you buy Bitcoin in 2017. If you buy Bitcoin in 2017, you are going to be in a lot of money today, right? Now, what is the name and the ticker of Bitcoin? Bitcoin, the ticker is BTC, right? It also satisfies a tokenomics. Incentive, it satisfies a good tokenomics. Supply, it satisfies a good tokenomics. Purpose, it satisfies a good tokenomics. Deflationary mechanism. Every 4 years, Bitcoin reduces how it rewards the miners. Okay, and this is the way Bitcoin is curbing inflation in its own ecosystem, in its own network. Then distribution. Bitcoin released after a miner. Okay, so Bitcoin is released after a miner completes a confirmation. So what in the instance of this distribution, if you look at what we have here, I told you token distribution is we have public sales, we have liquidity, we have in Bitcoin, we don't have things like that. In Bitcoin, we only have miners and the community, right? All the coin is locked up inside Bitcoin network, and the miner must do some form of job like confirming a transaction before a coin is released. Okay, and that coin is released only when a miner completes a confirmation, right? So it's not like they just populate the ecosystem or populate the network with the numbers of coins. Work must be done before the coin is released, and every 4 years the release of those coins is reduced by half. And this is the way Bitcoin is curbing inflation in its own ecosystem. So Bitcoin ecosystem is a very strong definition of good tokenomics, because the economics that is defined inside Bitcoin is very, very concrete. Now, what defines a bad tokenomics? Infinite supply. I bought into a project in 2020. The name of the project is Secret Network, right? And they said they are a privacy token. So I bought at, I think I bought at $0.3. And at the end of the day, when I sold at about, I think I sold about $10. Okay. Today, if you go and check the price of Secret Network, they are doing something around 0.00. They lose over 100% of their value, you know, because they drop to zero. From zero, they start to have 0.000 something. You know why? Because they are having infinite supply. The numbers of supply they will ever have is not limited. What it means is they will keep populating the market, and the price of and the money I have in it will be diluting. So because of that, people started taking money away from the project. Infinite supply is one of the problems that you are going to ever. It's one of the significant way to identify a bad tokenomics. Another one is no use case. Okay, for example, I'm going to give you a very controversial examples, right? One of the examples is Dogecoin, and I know that you guys know Dogecoin very well because of Elon Musk, right? But Dogecoin in 2017 is a mockery project. They use it to mock Bitcoin, right? So it's just an example of a programmer that wanted to tell us that Bitcoin is not significant. There's no importance that Bitcoin is doing in the world. Anybody can go with their system and create a coin and name it anything and start to tell people to buy. That is the ideology that Dogecoin came to do. Okay, it was until 2020 that they started thinking of a use case for Dogecoin. And when Elon Musk now joined into the project, they started refining the ideology of the project. Okay, we also have many coins. There is one coin in 2014 that is called OneCoin, ONE, one coin. This one coin had about $3 billion under it, but it was there's no use case. Where is one coin today? Zero. Nobody knows where it is, right? Because it has no use case. All they had was promises and promises and promises, and never fulfilled any one of it. So that's another example of bad tokenomics. Then again, we have less token allocation to the public. Let me show you what this means. Market, 25% is to the public. Project creation, 22% is to the public. Community, 14% is to the public. At the end of the day, the company is 18%, the seed sales is 12%, the public sale is 9%. Even public sales and seed phrase are still coins to the public, right? But first off, we have market 25%, we have project creation 22%, Altogether, this is 47%. If you add it to the 14% on governance and charity, you are going to see that the public is having over 50% of the coin already, right? So when they allocate lesser, lesser token to the community, you and I, when we look at the percentage that we are holding, we are seeing that it's less than 50% of what the project is all about. It means that the person that created that project is intending to do bad things. And that is a sign of bad tokenomics. You should not buy into that kind of project, right? Then the final thing is transparency. If a project is vague about anything at all, it is a sign of bad project. I'm going to give you an example. And that example is Ben token. This year, around March, I bought into Ben token. And they promise amazing stuff in the space, right? But they were not transparent. They didn't tell us the progress of what they were working on. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency today. If you go to Ethereum website, you are going to see every single thing they are doing to the last person that transacted on Ethereum. Everything is transparent, is public. You don't need to ask anybody any question. You will see all the information that is necessary without having a button or a call to anybody. So if any project today is being vague, they are not transparent about anything, it's a very, very bad sign. You should not put your money in that project. And how do you know? You follow them on their community. In Telegram, for example, you follow them on their X platform. You follow them on their Reddit platform. You'll be seeing how they are doing things. Oh, we just have a new partner today. This partner is bringing 200 billion or million to our project. Oh, we just do a new upgrade today. You can now use our HTS token to report any case in any police station, and a lawyer will be assigned to you. Use cases, the way updates are coming, we are putting it out there. Transparency without question. If any project is not transparent about what they are doing, okay, it is a very bad sign of that project, and it's a very bad tokenomics. Now, what are innovative tokenomics strategies that we have out there today? We've been able to talk about the good sign of a tokenomics. We've been able to talk about the bad signs of a tokenomics. We've been able to talk about what a tokenomics should look like for a project. Now, how are people innovating on tokenomics as things progress? I'm sure you all must have tapped your phone at some point in time this year, at all. Okay, one of the innovative way, that people drive strategies to tokenomics was that tapping. Amstar, for example, tap swap, for example. Even though tap swaps, they satisfy a portion of what they needed to satisfy, and it is still a scam to a level of force. But it is an innovative strategy to bring in, people to participate inside your project. Remember that tokenomics is the economics of a token. And at the end of the day, what you define in the economics is demand and supply. You need people to come and patronize a project, right? And that's the reason why you are jumping on it. Either you are jumping on it from the investor's angle or from the community angle. If the economics of that token is not right, you are in that project for a loss, right? And you do not want to do what you are going to lose in. And because you don't want to do what you are going to lose in, it is important to understand how a project is bringing people into the project. Amstar, for example, allows people to tap their phone for a reward or some token. And then this reward in future time will convert to money. And a lot of people, I saw suya sellers tap phones. I saw pepper sellers tap phones. I've seen security people, tap phone, gate men, tap phones. They don't understand what they are doing. But the economics of that hamster helps them to know that when I shall download this thing on my phone and I start to tap it, there is a value that will be given to me in return. And if this value is given to me in return, I can convert it to money. That is a very good economics. Today, we are having, a way that projects can reward people from learning. There are learn to earn, there are play to earn, there are, step to earn. For example, step to earn is stipend, for example. Stipend rewards you with token every single time you are walking on the road. Just imagine how many people we just imagine a lot of people that are walking. iCars, for example, is a way for them to have that token on their phone. So this is a strategy that is going to bring demand to that project. And that is why we consider it as an innovation of innovation into that token, right? Staking for utility or governance. I've said earlier on, I give a scenario where you can stake HTS token and then create more demand for people who are intending to report situations in a police station or report on the platform that HTS is going to create over time, right? So you can create, projects are now aligned staking for utility, staking for governance, staking for reward purpose, for community reward. These are all innovations that happened more recently. I'm talking about 2017 downward, 2017, 2018, thereabout. Then we have deflationary mechanism. This is one of the most beautiful innovative strategy that tokens are now embedding inside their economies today, right? Imagine Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not deflate itself. Bitcoin only focuses on supply and then reduces the supply over time, right? But around 2017, 2018, people started paying attention to the way inflation is happening, right? If we dump 50,000 tokens into new circulation, it will dilute the money. But then, can we burn 30,000 of it? So people started burning some coins so that the projects, the people that, so that the tokens that is remaining will have value. So that is an innovation that came into the space more recently. So, for example, anytime there's an innovation on Binance token, for example, and it is under one particular protocol like that, that every time you send a token, you send a coin from you to another person, the transaction fee that you pay for that token, they will burn it. When they burn it, they send it to a wallet that does not have a way that you can send money out of it. So they keep reducing the value. So they keep reducing the supply of the token so that the value of the coin can keep increasing. Remember that the essence of participating in any project at the end of the day is so that you can be incentivized properly and the value keeps going up. Then interoperability is one of the most significant, one of the most forward-thinking, innovative strategy that come into tokenomics today, right? So there is Bitcoin on Bitcoin network, but there's no Bitcoin on Ethereum network, right? There is Ethereum on Ethereum network, but there's no Ethereum on Bitcoin network. There's no Ethereum on Binance network, all right? Interoperability makes these things possible. Interoperability allows Bitcoin to be on Ethereum network and use your same wallet to be able to, do the same transaction you are going to do with Bitcoin on Ethereum. It allows Binance, Solana, and all of those other type of cryptocurrencies to exist on one particular network. You can be bridging, So there's a lot of concept that is into this interoperability, and I don't want to talk technically, but you can bridge from one coin to another. You can swap from one coin to another, all in the same network. So interoperability gives more access to people in other networks to participate in one particular network. To put it into perspective, what I'm saying is interoperability allows people in Binance network, okay, to participate in Ethereum network, right? And also allow Ethereum network people to participate in Binance network. And it's going to be very, very seamless. So if you look at it from a value angle, what it means is you are giving access to everybody in Ethereum network to access Binance network. You are giving everybody in Binance network to access Ethereum network. Just imagine the numbers of demand that can happen through that. Just imagine that you are in your house, but you can port from your house to another place without having to open your door. Just imagine that, without having to do many complexities. Just imagine that you can open your eyes where you are right now, and you can be in US. That is interoperability, being able to move around different networks without complexities. Today we have that as one of the forward-thinking, innovative strategies that has contributed to tokenomics today. Also, we have time-locked value. So these days you can lock up coins. Instead of taking it, you can still lock up some coin. If you look at all these recent DeFi projects, right? They allow you to lock up your coins. Okay, you can lock it up for maybe 10 days. Of course, they'll give you a reward for locking it. Stacks, for example, locks up coin every 14 days. What it means is every 14 days, they define new values for their project. And because they define new value for their project, this project keeps going up. Now, there's also dynamic supply adjustment. So imagine what we have here. So we are going to be releasing private sales in 3 months. We are going to be releasing private sales in 2 months. We are going to be releasing the team in 12 months. But imagine there is a mechanism in place that will be looking at the supply in the market, and then will be telling and be automatically looking at the portfolio that we put the remaining coins and say, no, we cannot release private sale 2 now. Why? Because the market is still inflated. We need it to, maybe we need some kind of mechanism to be in place before we can release more tokens. So dynamically and automatically, projects are now managing the way they supply tokens to the market. You know, because AI can help you track all the information surrounding the coin. Somebody in US, somebody in London, the instances, the exchanges that are selling this coin, the DeFi project that are, you know, that are using this project, that are using this coin. A dynamic way, an automated way to do it is to have all of them in check so that the system can tell us it is time to release more coins or it is not time to release more coins. That is another innovative strategy that has been, you know, that have been brought into the tokenomics space. Then hybrid ownership model. So today you can own coin for security assets, for securities, and also still own it for utility, and also still own it for governance. All of these are hybrid in ownership. And this is also one forward-thinking strategy that have come into the cryptocurrencies, into the tokenomics space today. What is the role of a lawyer in tokenomics in the instance of what we have discussed today? Remember that everything starts up with a token, right? The ideology that you are going to allow, for example, Ethereum allow people to complete transactions and embed smart contracts into it. That's the ideology of Ethereum. Bitcoin allow people to send money from one person to another, but it all starts from the token. So I'm going to be allowing people to send money from one person to another. That's what Satoshi said. But then this is the token that they are going to use to do it. Everything starts up with the token. And every single point that there is agreement, every single point that there is a need for another party, a lawyer needs to be involved, right? Now, what are ways that a lawyer needs to be involved in tokenomics? One, investors representation. I would like to go back to the story of, let me go back a bit to the story of, to the scenarios I painted earlier on. Now, let's look at what happened to Terra Luna. The system collapsed when USD lost its peg, triggering a downward spiral. The algorithm minted excess Luna tokens to restore USD's value, leading to hyperinflation and a collapse in Luna's price. Okay, now let's come back to the role of a lawyer. Okay, investors representation. Now, Luna is one way or the other, you either agree to it or not. Luna is a project that people invested money in. So to me, Luna is a project. To Luna, I am a customer, right? And today, Luna crashed because they implemented a new strategy in their ecosystem, you know, that will be incentivizing other people when the dollar is pegging, when the USD is pegging away from $1. Okay, and then it leads to a crash. Me as a customer, am I supposed to be concerned about that? The money I put inside Luna, it has gone. Is there a way a lawyer can help me, you know, and represent me and then get my money back? Okay, Nigeria is a landscape where we do not have that regulation in place. But still, are there laws that would have helped me, you know, make a case against Luna ecosystem generally, right? And they are going to be able to at least maybe go to the court or maybe settle the situation at some point. This is where litigation and fraud lawyers come into play. We also have regulatory compliance. I'm sure that one way or the other, you must have heard that there was a time a Binance officer was locked up in Nigeria for more than 8 months, and until recently it was released. And that's literally because they believed that Binance was using their platform to manipulate the price of Bitcoin of Naira against dollar, right? That's the argument from government. Okay, so as a lawyer, okay, are there compliance? I mean, are there things that Binance should have done to comply with Nigeria to a level of force? Okay, or should they at some point make some payments? Because they try to manipulate Naira. This is the instance of why Nigeria was requesting for, you guys must pay us maybe $10 billion because you are using your platform to manipulate the price of coin, the price of Naira against dollar, and because of that, we don't want Binance to be operating in Nigeria anymore. Does Binance token, does this satisfy what it means to be security asset? These are very quality questions that we need to be asking, ourselves. What are the importance? What are the rules or regulations or law in place that defines a token as an asset? All of these fall under regulatory compliance. Then again, we have corporate lawyers, right? It is important that, when Nigerian projects are wanting to come up to, start a project, maybe, for example, I intend to start a Zendos token. What is the Zendos token going to be? It's going to be a token that will allow people to connect to the services they need to do around them. So I need a tailor. This Zendos token is going to connect me with a tailor, and I can pay with Zendos token. But before people can start using that token to make payments. Are there laws, are there regulations that need to be satisfied, or I even have very simple cases. I have somebody who invested money with me, and then he wants a return that is bogus, that is out of space, that I cannot achieve, and we don't have a written agreement. Okay, are there ways lawyers can step in line for that? It is very, very important that lawyers have the understanding of what is happening in the cryptocurrency space today, starting from what a token does to how the token intend to create, an ecosystem for themselves. That's the tokenomics. Intend to create an ecosystem for themselves. Where are the loopholes? Where are the spaces that, that is not right for an investors to put their funding? Where are the spaces that a platform is intended to defraud other people? All of these things are importance of how lawyer comes to play a significant role in the token or cryptocurrency space. Thank you guys for listening in on this. I should have given room for questions as we started on. However, I hope that you're able to pick one or two important take-home lessons to you. But then, if you have questions, right, from everything we've discussed, right, if you have any question at all, please, you can bring it up now, or you can, mute yourself and ask me questions.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's keep our appreciation coming in. Let's keep our virtual claps coming in. Such an amazing presentation. We've learned so much. Let's raise our hands for our questions. All right, Titilayo, please ask your question. Fortune,
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, clearly, I can hear
All right,
you.
thank you very much, sir, for that session. I think I understand how airdrops work now. Okay, sir, I just want to ask like a basic question. I was just going through the session, everything that you were expatiating on, and there's a question that came to my mind, and it's just like this. I think tokens are not based on physical assets. Tokens cannot be based on physical assets, but on services.
Okay, so if I get your question right, you are asking if a token are based on physical assets or services.
No, whether they are based on services, not physical assets. Physical assets like cars, like houses, lands, but on services.
Okay. Thank you. It's very basic actually, right? Tokens are based on both physical assets and services. They are both goods and services, depending on who is creating it, for example. For example, are you going to consider borrowing money a service? Are you going to consider lending money to somebody a service? Right? If you consider those two as a service, then I have some DeFi solutions like DeFi1, for example, allows you to borrow your money on to lend your money on the platform. It also allows you that needs money to come to the platform to borrow money. So this was one of the first way cryptocurrency tries to take away the banking services job, right? So cryptocurrency, a token in majority of the instances is just a representation of something in something. It's just a representation of value. If value can be passed through services, yes, it satisfies it. If value can be passed through physical products, yes, it satisfies it. So am I able to answer your question, or you still have more in-depth look at it?
All
Titi,
right,
are you
thank you very much, sir, for
okay?
that answer. Okay, so it's possible for me if I have an asset, I have a house. Yes, I have a house,
Yes,
and I want to build my tokens around houses. Like if you want like a, how would I call it, a unit of ownership in my houses, in my houses, just get a token, and the number of tokens that you get is just like the number of tokens that you get is the value of ownership that you have in my house. So that means if, okay, I think the question is already getting clearer to me now. Yeah.
what you need to say, the answer is already getting clearer to you. So
Yes, yes, yes,
you
yes.
mentioned a very, very innovative narrative in the cryptocurrency space today. They call it real world asset tokenization. And real estate is one of the first playground for real world asset tokenization. What it means is I can tokenize my asset house, right? I can tokenize
Yes.
my estate and allow people to buy into my token, either to own part of my house. Just imagine that you can own part of Transcorp, and then because you maybe for you to be able to sleep in Transcorp, you need to own maybe 50,000 Transcorp token. Any day you go to Transcorp, you just show them you have 50,000 token in your wallet. They will open to you any room for you to sleep in because it gives them the understanding that you are one of the rightful owners that can sleep inside Transcorp. How about you want to build an estate? You can allow people to buy into an estate. So one of the things that real world asset tokenization is doing today is imagine you want to buy a house. Okay, the price of a house is is a lot. So maybe 50 million, 60 million. As a student, can you afford it? Even many graduates cannot afford it, right? 100 million, 400 million. Who would be able to afford this kind of stuff, right? But today, with reward assets, we can tokenize the whole of that 400 million into like maybe 400 million tokens and say the least a person can buy is 100 tokens. Each token is going for maybe one naira. Now, if you want to buy 100 token, you just have to own like you have to own have 100 naira to buy 100 token. If you want 1,000 token, you buy 1,000. And any day you just and sell it, right? Swan, I think Red Swan is one of the Nigerian projects that is doing something very significant in that space. Also, we have House Africa. House Africa is also doing something very significant like that. But somewhere around California, it's already materialized. People can now, go into estates because they are having a version of the token. You can own property in Dubai today, right? If you are able to buy some of their tokens, and any day you go there, they are going to allow you access to your property. I hope I'm able to, shed more light on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. I saw another hand raised. Okay.
So why
Please
other
raise your
hand
hands if you
coming
have
up?
any question. I want to ask a question, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So my question is, you said that you taught us that having knowledge of tokenomics and tokens helps us to verify how authentic a project is, like a crypto project is. So I wanted to ask, like, so there's this platform I'm on. Every time you see them, they'll send one link, click on this link, key into this airdrop or Satoshi app, co-lend airdrop or project. So I want to ask, like, I want to know how to do these things by myself. I want to be able to, like, okay, make my research and know that, okay, let me key into this project or let me be a part of this project. And then I also observed that there are some projects that will ask you to connect your Twitter, your X account to the platform. And I feel like, isn't that a breach of privacy? And then they will tell you that by Twitter will tell you that this project has access to um maybe not your messages, but they can tweet for you, they can retweet, like they can do some very personal things to your X account. And the next thing I will know, after some couple of weeks or months on that platform, they will just say, we have cashed out, or I've cashed out 90K, or I've cashed out this. So I want to know, first off, how I can find my own project, because this project gives, like, it has really helped in understanding a lot of things about airdrops and all of that. So instead of me running away from this project and even losing out on some maybe little change that could come from there, how can I make my own research, like practical steps I can take to make my research, find this project, know which one to avoid, know which one to key into, and then what is the extent of the implication, that is the implication as to when they say connect your Twitter account, X account, sorry, connect your Telegram account. I want to know, doesn't, especially that X account, it's literally scared me. How can a project be able to, like, retweet for me, tweet for me? I feel like, so I want to also know, what is the extent of that? Is that a
That,
good thing? Is that a bad thing?
that's an interesting question. You know,
Thank you so much, sir.
yeah. So, and it's also a very forward-thinking question that everybody needs to learn from, right? So, if you remember when I was showing you the distribution on, tokenomics, I said community reward 14%. I said so from that community reward, that is where they used to allocate airdrops. Some other projects allocate percentage for airdrops particularly. Now, airdrops come in different forms. Some will want you to participate in some activities like reposting on your own social media platform, like maybe bringing in somebody, following their platform, retweeting what they tweet, or giving them the access to do that yourself. And that is why they will not tell you to log in through or have access to your Twitter account. I personally, from a very professional angle, I do not do anything airdrops because, when you are dealing with many airdrops like that, you're also exposing yourself to, to scammers or to a breach to your own phone. Haven't you heard that there are people? There was this community manager one time that used to be, in our own space, and one of the things he did was he participated in a project, and they told him to connect his Trust wallet to a platform, right? He connected the Trust wallet to the platform, not knowing that what he was doing was connecting to a platform, and them going to be having access to that Trust wallet. Any money this guy receives in that wallet, they will move it out of it. Immediately the money is dropping, they will be transferring the money out immediately, because he has allowed them he has allowed himself to, to hope, he has exposed himself to clicking a link and using that link to connect with Trust Wallet, right? So I am against anything that looks like you clicking a link or connecting your platform to social media platform, except you trust the platform a whole lot. And for you to trust that platform a whole lot, you must have done many research, right? Research is very important. And there is no better way to know a project than to do fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis are the common things that are about a project. Who is creating this project? That's a fundamental question. Who created this project? How many people are working on this project? Where is the community of this project? Telegram. How many people do they have in the community? Are they working? Those are very fundamental questions you need to ask. And then when you are asking those questions, you are finding the answer to them. Who created this project? You go online, downloaded the white paper, or go to the website of the project. You see the person's name there. Copy the name, right? Check it on LinkedIn. Check it on Twitter. Check it on Facebook. Does this name exist? Is this person actually doing this project? What is the years of experience this person has to be able to launch this kind of project? When you are satisfied with yourself, you will now go ahead and say, the people that are working on the project, what is their years of experience? Because a person can think of creating a very amazing project. I just thought of creating HTS project now to facilitate legalities in the crypto space. Okay, I just thought about it. What if I don't have the people that can do it? So I will need to go into the team and check, these people, are they actually, well experienced enough to be able to do what they say they can do? All right, once you're able to find answers to that, then you will now go ahead. Where is this coin? Are they on Binance? Are they on DeFi platforms? Are they on Telegram? So you need to start answering those questions. Where are they? How many people have bought into them? Then you need to have a little quality of exploring a tracker platform. I will recommend CoinMarketCap for everybody or CoinGecko for everybody. Just know how to check the information of an asset on those places, so that you can have an insight into, is this person or is this project a scam or not? Will they rug pull? Will they take my money away or not? So one important skill set that you need is to be able to do fundamental analysis yourself. It is not, you don't need any expert to teach you that. It is just basic questions. Imagine that you want to put 20,000 naira in any project. Just imagine it in your head. Or even if you want to put it, okay? Start to ask yourself questions. This project I want to buy, who owns it? Okay? If I put my money, will they give me back my money? If, so there's something called liquidity. Liquidity is the money a project have at the back, so that when you bring your money to buy coin, they will give you the coin and take your money and add it to the liquidity pool. Anytime you say you don't need the coin again, you want to sell the coin, they will buy the coin from you and give you the liquidity back and give you your money from the liquidity pool. So when I said the blockchain space is completely transparent, I mean it. Blockchain allows you to see the liquidity of each and every project. So imagine a project that they are claiming that they are $1 million already, but when you check the liquidity, you are seeing just $20,000. It means that after $20,000, they don't have more than $980,000 to pay people, and they are collecting people's money. These are very, very important questions you would have been able to ask yourself so that you don't put your money into them. Will you be able to see liquidity of a project? Yes. Check through CoinMarketCap and many of all those other tracking platforms. All right. Secondly, when you are doing any airdrops, because I know that is where they try to scam people a lot. Airdrops scam people a lot. Scam you. Do you know that you can buy a phone? Okay, because the only way these people steal from you is not just your money. It's not just that you connect your phone to a platform and the thing is not working again. Do you know that they can use the resources of your phone, your battery, your internet, and your processor? You will just notice that all of a sudden your phone just start getting hot. After a day or two that you connected to a platform, your phone will just be hot unnecessarily. You put your phone down overnight, the phone don't hot finish. It's because you have given access, you have clicked the link that you're not supposed to click. And to you, it was not doing anything, but they're already using your resources. They are using your phone memory, they are using your battery, they are using your network to do something somewhere, and they are the one getting the reward for it. You know, so these are ways that you are able to safeguard yourself from even entering into situations like that in the first place. You know, so it is very, very significant that you are able to review a project first. And where you are going to start from is a white paper. Inside that white paper is tokenomics. You know, the first thing I check out in any project is the tokenomics. Any project at all, you want me to do this, if your tokenomics is not right, I am not putting my money in the first place. Okay, so if the tokenomics is right, then I start to do fundamental analysis. I start to look at who is the owner of the project, how long will the project last. This concept that they are trying, imagine somebody is saying that what my project is going to do is to allow you go to the space, and you are a Nigerian. And the person that created that project is a Nigerian. With Nigeria itself, go. They never get how they go take go space. Somebody is now creating a project for that kind of thing. You should already know that if you put your money in things like that, it will go. You know, so I don't know if I'm able to provide an insight to the question you asked me, but importantly, I think it's very significant that you have this understanding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was really amazing. At least I have a lot of direction now. White paper, the tokenomics, then fundamental analysis. Wow. Thank you so much,
Perfect.
sir.
Perfect.
Super grateful.
Yeah.
I saw that the hand was raised. Fortune, please go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my friend.
Mhm.
I want to sincerely thank our instructor for his practical insights and trying to bring everything down to our understanding. I'm still new in this area, but his lecture just sparked my interest. However, I would like him to just throw more light. Just I know it's not really relevant, but I just want to understand something on this ZKT, zero knowledge proof, and the interoperability, something like that. Sorry.
You want me to shed light on zero knowledge proof and interoperability?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting question. Somebody's a bit technical on the platform. That's amazing. So I'm sure you've heard of Bitcoin. Perfect. Everybody understands that. By any reason for you to know Bitcoin today, no problem. Either for you to buy and sell in the future, or for you to buy and make money in the future, no problem. If it is for you to send money cross-borderly, no problem. You want to send money to US, that's the reason why you know Bitcoin. No wahala, right? But then after Bitcoin, something amazing started happening. People started thinking and innovating on how this crypto can go beyond Bitcoin. Ethereum was the first person in that space. Ethereum said the technology that is applied to Bitcoin that can make me send money from where I am to another place, and there's no middleman in between. If we can apply it to business, it makes a lot of sense, right? Ethereum was bettered from that angle, right? And Ethereum launched his own coin, launched a white paper, launched a tokenomics, and today we have Ethereum worth over $500 billion. Okay, but there is one narrative that is very, very interesting. That narrative is NFT, right? What the marketers have publicized NFT to be today is that NFT is a way for you to preserve value. You can preserve your picture, you can preserve this, you can preserve that. All right, they are not lying, actually. Okay, but beyond that, the main use case of NFT is that imagine that you graduate from school today, and instead of issuing you a certificate of graduation, that a paper that you can lost even in the place where they are issuing the paper. When I was graduating in school that year, there was a boy that lost his certificate just right there, right? The certificate can get burnt, right? The certificate can get lost. We have instances of many presidents, don't let me say many, a few presidents in this country that have tried to become president at some point, say that they lost their secondary school certificate. They can't find it anymore. The school is not saying it. All those things will not happen if they've been able to put those certificates on NFT. That's why we call it non-fungible token. Your certificate can be hashed on the blockchain. Your driver's license can be hashed on the blockchain. Your international passport can be hashed on the blockchain. This is where zero knowledge proof now comes in play. Imagine that on your phone, on your wallet address, you have your certificates, maybe your trust wallet address, you have your NYC certificate, or you have your driver's license. Let's use driver's license as a very simple way to explain zero knowledge proof. Okay, so you are driving, you have your driver's license in your phone. You are driving, you now meet a police checkpoint. Okay, then in the police checkpoint, the police now tell you, identify yourself, or who are you? You just brought out your wallet address. You did not say anything. You just brought out your wallet address. Under your wallet address, there is a barcode or a QR code. That QR code is containing the information of your driver's license. What the police need to do is to just scan that QR code, and they are going to be able to prove that the person that owns that QR code, which is you, that carries your phone out, is the rightful owner of the car that is driving. Because the information will be exposed, it's a way for you to prove yourself without divulging any information to them. Or for example, imagine that you have your birth certificate on NFT, on the blockchain. You now want to enter into maybe a party or a clubhouse, and they are saying that anybody below 18 years cannot enter this place. All they need is just to scan the barcode of your birth certificate, of your wallet address. Once they scan it, this thing will just tell them if you are above 18 years or not. It doesn't need to tell them you are born in 1990 something, you are born in 2000 and something. It's not necessary. All that they needed to know was, are you above 18 years or not? Now, put this information into perspective and look at the numbers of times you have shared valuable information when it was not necessary. Imagine you are opening a bank account and they're asking you for your house address, they're asking you for your utility bill, they're asking you for your international passport, for your pictures. But what the bank wants to know is if you have been consistently paying your utility bill or not. Imagine that you are just able to prove that without divulging any information to them. Okay, imagine international passports. You are traveling out and they are doing the photocopy of your international passport in many places. Okay, there was a time I traveled out to log into Turkey and I saw a very nice sword, very iconic, very vintage. It's a very quality old piece. And I felt that I can buy it. I've asked the guy that sells it. He said he can sell it to me. And I said, I'm taking it to Nigeria. He said, no problem. Because I know that gun, knife, things like that, they will not allow it on the plane. He said, no, I should not worry. That people used to take to US, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I got to Turkey airport coming to Nigeria. And they stopped me. They were checking my bag, and that scanner detected that there was a sword in my bag. So they took me by the side, and then they started asking me many questions. Where are you from? Nigeria. And that was there was this news around that time that in Nigeria was going to be a terrorist or try to stop a plane or things like that. Okay, in Nigeria. See, I have not seen the numbers of uniformed men as a person the way I saw them there. My international passport was snapped more than, if I'm not over exaggerating, more than 12 times. Now imagine that my international passport information is on 12 different phones today. In things that if I have hashed my international passport on the blockchain, all they needed to see was a barcode, scan it. Oh, this person is having this necessary information and they can pass, he can go to this country, is a member of so country, things like that. The information on my international passport will not be open to them, but yet they will have been able to know if if I'm able to travel, or my kind of person, or the history they would have wanted to know without having to snap an international passport at all. That is the concept of zero knowledge proof. Now, interoperability is, imagine you want to send Bitcoin, you have Bitcoin wallet address. You want to send Ethereum, you have Ethereum wallet address. You want to send Binance coin, you have Binance coin, Binance wallet address. You want to send Dogecoin, you have Doge wallet address. How many wallet addresses are you having already? Like 5. Now imagine that you want to do up to 20 cryptocurrencies, you will need to download 20 different wallet addresses. Interoperability said, no, you don't need that. One wallet address for everything. And that is the instance of interoperability. I hope I'm able to shed a little bit of light on that question too.
Amazing. Let's keep
Yes,
those
sir. Thank
virtual
you very
claps
much.
coming in. Okay, let's
So I
keep
think
those
I saw
virtual
another question
clubs coming
in
in.
the in call message. So maybe I should just answer that as the last question for today. He says, this is
All
by
right, sir.
Messi Adam. He says, thank you so much for the lecture. Thought at some point, though at some point I was a bit lost, as it seemed a bit technical. I understand. I'm a technical person. I'm a programmer, and I try as much as possible to break things down to common language. So he says, however, you mentioned a token that rewards one while working. Maybe you could help out with it as well as other kinds of token that could reward one for doing regular activities. That's an amazing one. All right. So the name of the project that rewards you for working, they call it Step N. So the name is Step N. Step, STEP, then capital letter N. You can check it out, right? I know they still do that today. Now there is Learn to Earn, then there is Play to Earn. So this is what I'm going to do. This is one of the reasons why I host Breakfast is Blockchain every Saturday by 10 a.m. on X. So if you have an X platform, that's Twitter, formerly Twitter. My social my handle is Adewale Flex, ADEWALEFLEX, Adewale Flex, right? So I would have said it would be more interesting if I give you the task to go and check out some of these platforms, right? Things like Step N, for example. So you'll be tasked to check out Learn to Earn, Play to Earn. So it is not just by you working. There are games like Axie Infinity, for example, that reward you for playing games. So every single time you play game, you get some tokens, and those tokens can be converted to naira or cash. Some pay you to learn. So every single milestones you complete, they will also give you some tokens in reward for learning one or two, for learning that particular module. And they can do that for the whole of the module of the course that you are trying to learn. So there are many platforms like that, but go to CoinMarketCap, download the wallet, download CoinMarketCap as a wallet, or go through your browser, just coinmarketcap.com, right? Then you are going to see under categories. You are going to see many of those activities that are rewarding, people. Then again, on this coming Saturday, I am going to create a list of 10 tokens that I know that are going to be, that are going to do amazingly well. Okay. I follow narrative projects. I follow things like real world asset tokenization. Then you are also I'm doing this, but I need you to understand that this is not a financial advice, right? So there are projects around artificial intelligence, AI. There is a project called Token that you can invest, that you can buy into. It's a real world asset tokenization. There is a book of meme. It's a meme coin, but do your due diligence. But I strongly believe in it. And the people that have bought from my prediction are already in profit already, right? So there's a whole lot of coins but this Saturday, because of you guys, I'm going to have to sieve out or analyze out 10 assets that I know that you can gain from in this coming bull run. So we're going to be saying the price to buy and the price to sell, but then you have to join BWB on Saturday.
We look forward to joining you this Saturday. I actually just sent the links now. I saw them on the X space. So, ladies, those are the links to the BW Breakfast with Blockchain. Yes, I saw that BWB on X space, and then Diwali's Twitter X handle. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Let's keep the appreciations. Sir, you want to say something? Please go ahead, sir.
No. I'm perfect. Thank you guys for having me on here. I also learned a lot from the question that was asked, and it's amazing to be able to share the little experience I have in the crypto space, with a set of futuristic legal practitioners that are going to be saving us from many of the loopholes that this space are going to bring in over time. Thank you guys for having this space.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of Madam Deborah, as the volunteer program coordinator, I say heartfelt Thank you to you, sir. Thank you so much for this fantastic and insightful class. I know we learned a whole lot. A lot of our questions were answered, a lot of our doubts, a lot of our fears were clarified, and we're super excited to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your precious time. We do not take it for granted, and we pray that God blesses you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Do have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, sir. You too. All right, ladies, that is the end of today's session. And I know we learned a whole lot. Thank you for staying till the very end. It was truly an interesting session. So we already played a video testimonial on how this internship has impacted tense in the earlier session. So by tomorrow's session, we'll play another video. So please, if you haven't sent me your testimonial video, kindly do so as soon as possible so that we can share it on the platform and we can also play it before or after the session. And don't forget that we are still watching out for the intern of the week. We'll be putting you on the spotlight. So please, we already had one in the first session, at the end of the first session. So please be committed, participate, do your tasks, and of course, we'll be having more information that will be sent to us concerning our tasks. Each and every one of the interns, you're all expected article of your choice on a topic of your choice. So please, you can start working on it. What do I want to write about? What do I want to talk about? And also, before the end of the week, you're all going to be grouped. All right, you're all going to be grouped, and as a group, you all will be assigned a topic, and you all are expected to work together to write on that topic. So please get set for the remaining activities. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to be tired. This is not the time to complain, oh God, my data, my data. Yes, it's a sacrifice, right? And trust me, you and I both know that it is worth it for your future. So thank you so much on behalf of our pioneer, President Madam Deborah Oni. I say a very big thank you. And please and please make the most of this knowledge. Don't let it go to waste. You know, you can download Clever, download Gamic, to be heard of more today. BWB on X Space, blockchain, breakfast with blockchain. So follow Mr. At JFlex, Saflex on X Space, and stay connected with all of our speakers. We'll be happy to hear from you. All right. So, Fortune, you want to ask a question? You want to say something?